y'all, so I had my client come wash and blow dry. I went ahead and flat ironed her hair. So now I'm just parting out her leave out. Make sure y'all ask your client how they plan to wear their tape-ins. She wants to be able to wear her tape-ins in a high ponytail, and she wants to be able to wear a middle part. So I'm just basically placing the tape-in with the cover over the tape still, and just making sure when I pull her leave out up, I can't see the tape-in. So that's just a real easy way for y'all to check and make sure that you have enough hair left out. Don't just try to eyeball it. Make sure you double check it. Go ahead and braid out and just put aside the hair that's not going to be used for the tape-in install, and continue on with the process. So y'all can see here, I'm doing the same thing I did in the back. I'm just simply placing the tape in there before I remove the part over so it's not sticking or anything. And I'm just making sure when I pull it up, I do not see the tape in. So this is essential, y'all. Like, this is really important. Make sure that y'all check that, because you're not gonna be able to take the tape in back in if you get done and then you see, oh, the tape in is showing. Like, you just want to do it right the first time. I mean, you can, but it's gonna leave a little residue on her hair and it's just not gonna be as fresh and as neat. So like I said, go ahead and check it, don't eyeball it, and it's gonna make your install way more flawless. Okay, you can see here, I'm just using the technique where I take the tape in and press it up against my client's natural hair. After I do that, I just pull the hair down, only the hair that has stuck to the adhesive naturally. So I just try to remove any excess hair that's not sticking on its own. But you also want to make sure there's enough hair between the tape ends, because if there's just a small amount of your client's natural hair, it's going to cause a lot of tension and that can lead to breakage. So you want to make sure that you just let all the hairs that naturally stick go onto the tape in, and then any excess hairs you remove them, so that when you place the other tape in on, it'll be nice and clean and neat, but you also won't be causing any tension to your client's hair. So once you have the other tape-in placed on, you just want to make sure you squeeze nice and firmly. You'll see periodically through the video I use my tape-in pliers. So you can either use a tool or use your hands, but just make sure that the tape-ins are pressed together nice and tightly. I don't ever use my flat iron to actually add any type of additional bondage, but I will run my flat irons over the hair just to make sure everything is nice and smooth and flat. So as you can see, I'm still repeating the same process, but when you get to the sides and to the top, you do want to make sure that you're laying the hair on an angle so that when you pull the hair up, the tape-in won't poke out the side. So you can kind of see how the tape-ins go up in a V shape. So you want to keep that shape throughout. You want to make sure that you're going on an angle so that when your client pulls their hair up, it'll still lay nice and flat like that on the sides and it won't poke through their natural hair. So as you go along, you want to just continue to use the same process. And like I said earlier in the video, make sure that when you place on the tape-ins, it's not too close to their scalp. You don't want it to feel tight on their hair where if they put it up and down, it hurts. It should be close enough to make sure that it's secure and it's not causing tension to your client's hair. But you also want to make sure that you are asking your client as you go, you know, does this feel tight? You know, how it feels to them, and just making sure that it's a comfortable and it's a nice and neat install. If you take your time and make sure that you just only stick the hairs that are in between the tape-in naturally, and there's no additional little flyaways or little extra pieces, y'all, the style will come out super bomb, super flawless, and your client will have like really good longevity with their install because it'll be done neatly and be done correctly. In my case, the client wanted to use the full 2 packs, but if you have a client that just gets 1 pack or doesn't want the fullness of 2 whole packs, in this instance where I'm just pulling her hair back up to continue the same process, you could go ahead and part some hair in between the tape-ins. So you would have your roll there, part natural hair in between, and then just continue the same process in between. And that's just another way for you to install the tape-ins if they don't want it as full, or if they just want to have less tape-ins in general. So yeah, I'm just repeating the same process. As you can see, it's really starting to look like her hair. The color and the texture really match perfectly. So I'm just continuing the same process. Like I said, keep that V angle going up, and then also make sure that you're not stacking the tape-ins right on top of each other. So as you see there, like even throughout her whole head, I'm making sure that the tape-ins are staggered. And yeah, some places they're going to be stacked, but you want to try your best to make sure they're staggered throughout, especially going up on that angle, because once again, you want to make sure that your client's hair is super duper flat and everything flows like their natural hair would. So that's just something to keep in mind. Make sure that you are staggering them and making sure that it's flat as you go, so that you don't get far along and realize that you didn't have it at a good angle. Okay, so now that I have the tape-ins placed into the back and I'm almost to the middle of her head, I just went ahead and went along to the front so that I could make sure when she parts her hair in the middle part, that the way the tape-ins are placed, it'll still flow and be nice and flat, and it won't be in a weird spot where she won't be able to do like a deep middle part. So like I mentioned earlier in the video too, you want to ask your client how they're going to be wearing their hair. If she plans to wear a half up, half down in the middle part, then you need to style their hair when you install the tape-ins in that style. If you just place the tape-ins in without already pre-parting where the half up, half down will lay, the tape-ins are going to be showing, and they may even be placed in a way where they're not even able to do like a nice clean half up and half down. So you really want to make sure that you're making an effort to ensure that your client is going to be able to have their desired look. So like I said with my client, she wasn't interested in having any hair left out in the middle to do a half up, half down. So we just focused on doing the middle part, and she just wanted to make sure she could pull her hair up into a high ponytail. So that's why the technique I used, I just staggered the pieces, and I went ahead to the top just to make sure when she parts her hair deep back, I can make sure that the tape-ins are laid to the side nice and evenly, and everything is going to look natural. Y'all, look how the texture of her hair and the texture of those tape-ins blended so good. Like the color was spot on, the texture was spot on. I really love this install. So I'm still staggering the hair even as I get to the top of her hair. I'm still making sure that I'm not just placing them right on top of each other, and that basically the taping underneath will cover the taping that I'm placing on top. So if that is the case, you know that you're staggering the tapings properly. And then also with the style that my client desired for a middle part, just having those tapings staggered throughout is going to help shape her face as well. So when she wears her middle part, it's going to fall more naturally like her natural hair would. And you can see now that I'm at the top, I'm still just kind of staggering it as much as I can and making sure it's nice and flat. I know my client's going to be mostly wearing her hair down and up, so I'm just making sure I'm placing them in so that when she does wear a middle part, it's going to just fall forward and look nice and full. So definitely take your time once you're really laying the tapings in so you can accommodate your client's desired look. You want to make sure that they're getting the most out their install. So I'm just repeating the very same process that I did on the other side. I'm still staggering the tape ends, and I'm just making sure that it's nice and flat and nice and even. You also want to make sure that you place the same amount of tape ends on each side, so that's something else to look for too. Okay, so now that I'm at the top, we're kind of getting low on the tape ends, so I'm just going to go ahead and start leaving space between her tape ends. When I say space, I just mean her natural hair. So I'm going to go ahead and start leaving some natural hair in between. I'm just making sure that it's even throughout so that when I do place the tape ends, it'll still fall evenly. So now I'm just leaving the hair that I sectioned out underneath and adding the tape ends in the top. So if you start to run low on hair, definitely go ahead and apply the tape ends that you have left at the top of their hair, and then work your way down and back to the point where you already had the tape ends in the bottom. The worst thing you can do is just have to leave a whole bunch of the client's hair out in the top because you ran out. So make sure that part is already filled in with the tape ends, and then you won't have to worry about it looking gappy or not looking as natural. I see how that blends. Like, it looks literally like her hair. Like, it's so crazy. It was just so pretty. I can't get over how pretty her hair came out, y'all. Like, I really love how the hair blended. It literally, like, you can't even tell. Okay, so now that I have all the tape-ins installed, I'm just pulling my client's hair up so she can see how it'll look if she wants to do her high pony. And then we're just making sure it's nice and flat, no tape-ins are showing, and that she's able to have the desired styles that she wanted. And she was. So now I'm going to go ahead and just add a few curls in just to give her some body and show y'all the finished look. I was straight struggling when I first started the curls. Had to get my little flick of the wrist together, but we got there. Alright y'all, so this was our finished look. I went ahead and added the curls in, and I'm just touching up any little spots that I missed before I took the cape off. But this was our finished look, a really cute middle part with some bouncy curls. Definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments below. My client loved her hair. It was her first time trying tape-ins. And yeah, this was our finished look. So definitely make sure y'all comment below. Let me know what you think. And if you're not already subscribing, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Bye.